to the Tribute Community Center for Arenalacrosseleague action here on JVI Sports Network. Graham Bergsma, Michael Gillen, a couple of veteran face-off men. Bergsma thought he had it, but Gillen comes up with it, and the Monarchs have first possession in this battle for a share of first place in the Arenalacrosseleague. Both of these teams 2-1, along with the Six Nations Snipers and St. Catharines Shockwave, who are playing at the same time down at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. So the winners will be tied for first. The losers of tonight's two games. There's Dance with a shot bouncer way up over the net. Battling for position is Shane Scott, but the shot clock is going to run out. It was reset now. It's reset again. Skips away from Daryl Robertson. And here come the Monarchs back the other way. Well, actually, there will be a three-way tie for third place today. Paris Riverwolves got to 2-2. There's a shot from the outside by Teeter. Zach Higgins swallows it up. Higgins was grooving in the hallway before the Outlaws came out onto the floor. There's some music going in the arena, and he had some pretty nice dance moves going on. Here comes Ryan McMichael skipping along by the near boards. Gillen whacking him. Triolo gets it. Robertson D's him up. Reed Board. St. John grabs that with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll fire one from outside. That doesn't get to the net. It's going to be an over and back. Jake Strocher is out there playing defense on Matt Pelkey. Pelkey's going to stay in for an offensive set. We have some new players in the Arenalacrosseleague today. One of them just catching the ball is Connor Brown, number 15 for the Monarchs. There's Dance, though. Higgins stops that one. Brown, a Brampton Excelsiors product. Played with the junior A team. Expected to go very high, probably second in the Major Series Lacrosse draft tomorrow. Brampton Excelsiors have that pick. Will likely take the hometown boy. Chris Kluche expected to go first to the Coburg Kodiaks. He actually played for the Kodiaks in KW back when he was 16 even, in the playoffs. There's a shot from the outside. Stopped by Craig Wendy. Wendy is back after missing last week. Scooped up by Josh Miller. Miller into the lineup today for the Outlaws. Triolo's pass down low. There's a shot and a goal. First of the game is ripped in. Dead overhand by Cam Mancini. He will just load it up and fire right over the top of the defender. Bergsma comes up with this one to himself. Flips it over to the front side of his stick. Gillen trying to check him. Bergsma goes to the net, passes it off. There's a quick shot, but the save by Wendy, stopping Gage Board. Pelkey running the floor. He's met by Matt Spanger, wearing number 45 for the Outlaws, and he is just making, and we have a penalty call, but his debut as well in the Arenalacrosseleague. Really, Matt Lyons up top, as usual. Luke Laidlaw and Jordan Dance over on the left side. The righties, Shane Scott. And down low is Seth Laidlaw. Oh, and it's a sidearm rip from Lyons. Dead top just inside the post. Ties it up 1-1 with the power play goal. Not a whole lot of trickiness here. Nice shot just inside. Looked like he had Higgins going a bit to his left. Comes back to the goalie's right. Gillen went a little early, so the Outlaws will get the ball. One other roster note of interest today, for sure, is Johnny Ray, who came in last week, played for the Monarchs, was an outstanding addition to that team, has been activated by the Rochester Nighthawks. There's a pass in front. Can't get the shot off as Board was picked up right away. And here comes Gillen chugging out of the defensive zone. John Ray activated by the Rochester Nighthawks. He'd been on their practice roster. He is expected to make his debut tonight for the Nighthawks as they play the Toronto Rock at the Air Canada Centre. Ball behind the net. A couple of Monarchs all over the Oshawa player, but eventually they get it away. Here comes Dustin Caravello. Playing at the back door as usual. He'll stay and play some offensive shifts. Now he's cutting. Nice job by Triolo to pick him up, but Caravello still was able to catch the pass and got a shot off, but stepped in the crease. Ball goes the other way. Zach Sloan throws on the brakes. Now he slips by Laidlaw. Luke Laidlaw caught out on a defensive shift. Ball was in a stick. That was knocked free, and here comes Shane Scott all alone. Scores! Shane Scott bounces it through Zach Higgins. It's 2-1 Monarchs. Nice little breakout. Again, the ball was in a stick. You see the stick laying there on the floor after it was knocked out. Bergsman takes another one. Thinking about letting it rip, and he's going to. Nope. Now he's going to go underneath, but Gillen strips him. He'll be scooped up by Patrick Miles. Miles had an outstanding game last week in Six Nations. Lyons throws it down along the boards to Laidlaw. He's going to try and drive across the top. Over to Michael Teeter. Sorry, it's Jordan Dance. Dance spins, still has it, shovels it over. Laidlaw. Sorry, that is Connor Brown. Brown's going to get a shot off, but it's too late. Shot clock had expired. We're through 5 minutes of the first quarter here in Arenalacrosseleague action. Caravello up there checking Cam Garland. Garland pass to the front. Penalty coming. Spencer James leveled John St. John. And Dylan Goddard will start with things up top. And it's a pretty hard cross check. He broke the stick on the cross check right on the back of John St. John, who's out there in the shooter spot. Dylan Goddard up top. Now St. John gets it. Down low, Triolo misses the net. Cam Garland tried to find the ball and tap it back in, but missed. And the Monarchs break out. Nice job by Miles to just leave it there. Realizing that Caravello was open and had access to the ball. Goddard trying to strip Miles. He's just running in circles to kill time. We've got 1:23 left on the penalty. 7 on the shot clock. Laidlaw is going to rip one. He's going to go after the loose ball, but sees that Zach Tompkinson has it. Up to Goddard, and Goddard will set up the power play. See if he goes back to the top. He is. Ryan McMichael is at the left shooter spot, and we got 3 righties, so Goddard will rotate around, and Triolo takes the top. Goddard from up high bounces it. Wendy stops it, but it bounces out to Mancini. He goes to McMichael. What a move. Oh, he just missed. Thought McMichael had him. The hard fake low and went up high. I thought he was in, had it in, but just missed the net. Wendy may have got a piece of that. If so, that was a spectacular save. That pass almost gets away, but Goddard tracks it down. They've got 12 left on the shot clock. Still 28 in the penalty. There's a shot from the outside by Triolo. It bounces loose. It's going to be scooped up. Oh, a big hit. Not sure that Jordan Critch saw that one coming, but he withstood it anyway and gets it ahead to Caravello. Adam McGordy was thinking maybe he'd get a pass there, but Caravello's going to slow things down and let the Monarchs kill the rest of this penalty. Dance will trot to the far side as James comes out of the penalty box, heads over to the bench. They've got 7 left on the shot clock. 5 is a rip from the outside from Nick Grasby. Here come the Outlaws the other way. Board over center. Dance on him. Going to stay and play defense. Dance did a fair bit of that in Orangeville, so he's no stranger, but now he's heading off the floor. St. John, little hitch fake. Passes it down to Goddard. Isolation, tries to go underneath. Does get under Miles, dives. Saved by Wendy. Ball pops free, and St. John sees where it is, goes after it. Big pick by Matthew Francisco to keep St. John away from the ball, and Patrick Miles just runs it up over center. Lions will slow things down. Referees tonight, Jason Wiswell, Shane Withers, and Brent Humber. Wiswell, the crew chief. Shot from way outside. Goes off an Oshawa player and up out of play. So Connor Brown gets a fresh 30 for the Monarchs. With that shot that didn't find its way through, but did bounce fortuitously for the Monarchs. Scott with the shot from the outside, scooped up on the rebound. Here comes Zach Sloan. He's got Spanger ahead. Gives it off to Triolo and heads to the bench. Spanger getting some touches here in his Arena Lacrosse League debut. St. John up top, rips it, saved by Wendy, ball's loose. It's going to be scooped up by Caravello. He's on the run. And Oshawa not getting a penalty. It looked like they were well early coming off the bench. It was the second defensive player coming off the bench. It looked to me like it was a good 4 steps early coming out of the box. They're going to get it back anyways. That pass skips off the stick of Jordan Dance up into the mesh. 5:34 to go here in the first quarter. It's 2-1 for the Toronto Monarchs. I'm Steven Stamp on JVI Sports Network. Dylan Goddard starts with the ball for the Outlaws and speeds up into the offensive zone. He's very dangerous on the run. He's going to go to Triolo, who scores. Outside shot, skips it through Wendy, and it's 2-all. Goddard drawing defenders as he raced into the offensive zone right off the restart and just throws on the brakes, finds Triolo. Scooped out by Bergsma, facing off against Matthew Francisco. Bergsma being checked hard by Francisco, and Miles coming out. Moves it over. Robertson gets the ball to an offensive player and heads off. Spanger staying out for an offensive shift. Pick a little bit of a roll. He's in the middle. St. John thought about the shot from the outside on his offside. That pass is knocked down. Doesn't get through to McMichael. Here comes Critch. Hands it off. Dance lob pass across, and Seth Laidlaw will set things up. Giving it to Matty Lyons up top. Tompkinson watching him. Pick from Laidlaw. Rolls through, but doesn't have it, so he goes to the net himself. That shot is stopped. He almost blocked the pass out by Zach Higgins. Lyons trying to get a stick on it. Tompkinson leaves it for Goddard. Back to Tompkinson. That one misses. It's grabbed. A little pin along the boards on Josh Miller. And then the ball goes over and back. And Ryan McMichael will just stand over it. So the Monarchs can't get the quick restart and head straight for the net. Smart veteran play. Now he's caught out there on defense, but he's spent a bit of time in the defensive zone over the years. Actually knocks the stick almost out of the hands of Jordan Dance. Now Dance picked up by Zach Sloan. That pass gets away. Bergsma with the lob pass ahead. Nice job getting that one up. And Zach Sloan will take some time. Onto the watchful eye of Matthew Francisco. Francisco having a very involved game. He's really getting into the play. That pass doesn't connect. Wendy grabs it, makes the short outlet to James. Patrick Miles took a quick peek up the floor, but nothing was doing. So he just leaves it for Shane Scott, and they'll get the offense going. Laidlaw comes in with speed to set a pick. Scott with a fake. Waited a little too long, got checked. Ryan Nolan getting on him. Scott hands it back. 8 seconds left. Laidlaw thought he would go into the net. Huge pick by Matt Lyons. And the ball pops free on the far side to Brown. Takes a swat but can't get it. Behind the back. Shot by Lyons. Bounces wide. And Board comes up with it. There goes Spanger. He's running one-on-one on Critch. Shoots. Saved by Wendy down low. Robertson over there applying pressure, but the ball pops out and it's scooped up. Pass across to the far side by McGordy, staying up for an offensive shift. So there's a shot by Dance. A little trouble for Higgins, but he does eventually come up with it. Grasby tried to grab that ball on the way by. And the Outlaws are not going to make it across center. Bergsma puts the ball down. And here comes McGordy going to the net. Saved by Higgins, just got enough. Caravello didn't turn in time to see that Higgins was still down. Might have had a good chance to try and beat him. Wise decision probably to pick that one up and let the offense set up. He'll stay out there to be part of it. Now he rips off the post. DeBrone flips it ahead after the Outlaws come up with the ball. Slowing into towards the net. May have been harassed a little bit there by Teeter coming back on the back check. And an update, John Ray is in the lineup. Again, so he played for the Toronto Monarchs last week. Very effective now. Active and dressed for the Rochester Nighthawks. Making his National Lacrosse League debut tonight. Nice pass down. Going to the net, shooting, scoring. The hands go up. It was very close on the timer as Nick Tchaikovsky spins and bounces one past Wendy, making it 3-2 Oshawa. No video replay is one of the only differences in the rule book between the National Lacrosse League and here in the Arenalacrosseleague. So it's 3-2 Oshawa. See if the Monarchs can overcome that bad break. Grasby, hard pass across, gets it through to Dance. Higgins swallows that one up. Tompkinson takes it. Matt Spanger, it's stuck in the gear of Higgins. Spanger's pointing up the floor. And Ryan Nolan will move it over center. Spanger trailing. They go to McMichael along the boards. He's just waiting for someone to come off the bench. Lobs it a little bit high, but Tchaikovsky went up and got it. Tchaikovsky just blows up Matt Francisco as Francisco tries to check him. Almost finding home was Cam Garland there off the post. We're going to have a penalty holding. Caravello and Critch up at the top. Big pick from St. John. Goddard runs off, and we're going to have a moving pick call. Wendy looking for the outlet pass. Lots of time left. Oh, I don't think Critch realized that was coming. So it is grabbed the other way by Gage Board. Gets the give and go pass from St. John, but the pass misses. Spencer James flattens and gets the loose ball. St. John wrap checking on James. Stays with him. James holds on to it. Hands it off to Lions, and the quarter ends. Oshawa Outlaws 3, Toronto Monarchs 2. Bergs McGillen to do battle again. This time it's Gillen, pulls it out to himself, but it pops free. Spanger's right there. Jordan Critch comes up with the ball. So the Monarchs do get it. We'll try to kill around 30 seconds of this penalty. Lyons takes it. Board watching him. Bergsma spying. Teeter cuts through the middle. They go to Critch behind him. Tompkinson keeping an eye on him. Teeter with the pick. Rolls off, but there's no space. Hard shot by Critch with 7 left on the shot clock. That one's swallowed up by Higgins, and the Outlaws go the other way. McMichael with the ball. Make sure he gets it across center, and we'll head to the bench. Power play sets up with Goddard up at the top. St. John in shooter spot will take the pass. Goes down low to Garland. Tchaikovsky's in the shooter spot. Now he's going to cut in, and Triolo will roll out. Hard pass, but it's low. It's about knee high for Cam Garland. That's a tough pass to catch. Mike Triolo should know that as a fellow tall guy. There's the pass across, too high for Crawford. And the Outlaws will go back, and that's a tough one for Toronto. If you're going to get a chance to score shorthanded, then go ahead and push it. But boy, if you give the ball away, it really puts the pressure on your penalty killers. Pass down low to the cutting St. John in the middle. Doesn't quite get to him. There were a lot of Monarchs around him. But Goddard gets it back, 7 to shoot. Throws it across. McMichael rips one. That one's stopped by Wendy. Doesn't know exactly where it is. Oh, it's in his shirt just under his neck. And Dustin Caravello will run up the floor. Well, AC/DC on the sound system here. That's Shane Scott, jukes and jives. Shoots, saved by Higgins, but it got away from him. Sea of blue jerseys there, though, for the rebound. Personally, not necessarily a huge fan of music during the games, but there's been a lot of AC/DC today, so I am down with that. Some Led Zeppelin, too. I'm probably dating myself with that, but I'm a fan. There's a pass down. Garland can't handle it, but grabs the rebound. Penalty coming to Toronto. They get Tchaikovsky on the top. He scores to cancel it as the helmet was knocked off. There it is laying on the ground. Nice pass across, and Tchaikovsky just finds a hole. 4-2 with the power play goal. Being announced, while being prepared for. Bergsma pulls it back between his legs, right to Tompkinson, 3-on-2, just like that. Shoots, scores! Great face-off win by Bergsma. A nice little pick by Ryan Sloan to open up a bit of space. Ryan Schutzkowski, the backup goalie for the Monarchs today, if you were wondering. There's DeBrone spinning away from the net, spinning back towards it. Nolan's there to set another pick. He did a great job last time. DeBrone's going to hand it off, and the Outlaws will get their full offensive set out there. And another goal. This time it's Josh Miller. Just goes, that's a pretty nice shot, actually. Top left, and that's one of the shots in the summer that may not go in. Well, probably wouldn't because it's just inside the post. 3 inches wider than they use in the summer season. And it's toughest on the goalies adjusting to that. Obviously, the shooters love it. Have an extra ball and a bit's worth of space. Outlaws up 6-2 on the team that is currently ranked number 1 in the inside IL Indoor Power Rankings for the Arenalacrosseleague. Those produced by me, and so far not holding up. We'll see. I did have the Parrish River Wolves at 5 beat the number 6 Peterborough Timbermen earlier in the day. Monarchs ball. And Francisco will hand off to Laidlaw. Teeter whips it across to Brown. Brown has a bit of a lane. Tyler Roach taking it away, and Higgins makes the shot, makes the stop. Tyler Roach, I was talking to somebody before the game saying we haven't necessarily seen the best of Tyler Roach yet in this league, but he is a smart lacrosse player. Made a really nice defensive play there to give the lane, then take it away and let Higgins see the shot. And then Roach stays out, and it's a pretty good pick. Actually with some good offensive skills, even though he primarily plays defense. That shot by St. John, knocked down, scooped up. And they get it ahead, and it looks like Matt Pelkey may have come out limping. Penalty coming to the Outlaws. Looks like Ryan McMichael. He and Jason Wiswell having a little discussion about it. McMichael throws a pretty nifty cross-check on Michael Gillen as Shane Scott gives it to Caravello. 6 attackers out there for the Monarchs, and Scott will not let it fly. 4 seconds to shoot. Gets to Teeter. His pass doesn't connect. Brown has it. The shot clock will expire. Monarchs at the top. Oshawa, after being number 1 for a couple of weeks, slid to number 3 with their loss last week. Six Nations Snipers in second. So they're facing the number 4 St. Catharines Shockwave. There's a cut to the net. Laidlaw couldn't find home, but the ball bounces back out. Dance got it, gets the ball back after the pass to Scott. Laidlaw backdoor. It's picked off, though. Lobbed ahead. Tompkinson going after it. Shane Scott can fly, but boy, Tompkinson is fast. Overruns it, though, and Scott winds up with the ball. It's the one problem. You get that much speed going. I assume. I've never actually moved that fast without being on a bicycle or in a car. Lions at the top of the power play. 20 on the shot clock. Lions tries to get the pass through to Dance. Doesn't connect. Lions fires. That one went off the shaft of Higgins' stick. And they see the touch. We'll have a fresh 30 for the Monarchs. 9:23 to go here in the second quarter. Still 6-2 Oshawa. Monarchs trying to get one back. They've got 52 on the power play. 24 on the shot clock. There's an underhand shot. It was very close going in, but Higgins just gets enough. And here comes Matt Spanger running the floor. He just glides up the carpet. Spins around. Hits St. John. It's a little high, but St. John does get it off the boards. John St. John put a team together for the co-ed fun tournament this morning. I got to play with him a couple of times. He's stepping back out. 5 left on the shot clock. And he scores, just steps out. Short-handed goal. Not a whole lot to it, just stepping back and firing. And that's it for Shutkowski as Craig Wendy jogs back onto the floor. But Bergsma pulls it out, flips it back to Higgins, who alertly jumps out of the crease. Tompkinson knocked down. And another whack taken out by Jason Crawford. Bergsma grabs it. got Caravello on him. Sorry, that was Patrick Miles. Miles heads to the bench. You get Grasby out on the break. He hits the cutter. It's Crawford who had to turn and flip the ball across his body. Gillen gets there first. Robertson all over him. Penalty has expired. We are back at even strength. Monarchs just getting their full offensive complement out. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll take the officials' time out. If there's a stoppage in about 23 seconds after that, we'll be in that area. There's Tompkinson running ahead. Gage Board gets it to him. The trailer's McMichael scores. Out of the box, onto the floor, into the rush, and into the back of the net. Ryan McMichael. Nice little snipe in the top corner. Gillen is out there for the faceoff. St. John is going to run in to take it. Had he not gotten there quickly, Wiswell was going to blow the play in as he's wont to. As you know, that's his right to do. Actually, it was Brent Humber was there for the faceoff. 8-2 as we near the midway point of the second quarter. Caravello takes a look, sees this man, gets to Critch, goes down to, is that Gillen? Michael Gillen taking an offensive shift, goes to the net. Oh, nice save by Higgins. Critch back to Caravello. That shot bounces away. Those two, of course, teammates back in Orangeville. A lot of Orangeville guys on this Toronto team. A lot of Halton Hills players, too. A lot of Barrie Blizzard players, too. Critch rips it, saved by Higgins. I tell you, Zach Higgins and Craig Wendy were the two best goalies in the Arena Lacrosse League through 2 weeks. Higgins sat out. There's a drive to the net by Lions. That one stopped. Higgins sat out last week as Lucas Coote played. Also a very good goaltender. Higgins had to turn on the bench, and Craig Wendy was away at a tournament in Indiana, I believe. Here comes Cam Garland. The shot blocked by Spencer James. Those two will go after it. A couple of big bodies battling along the boards. And here comes Francisco, saved by Higgins. Francisco almost caught him going to his right. Came back with the shot to his left. That one scooped up, and using the net as kind of a slingshot effect is Mark DeBrone. Smart player, but then he makes an ill-advised pass that is knocked down, and here come the Monarchs the other way. Matt Pelkey has the ball. Seems to be moving okay. He was limping off the floor earlier, but looks pretty good now as he heads off, so obviously worked out any kinks in his legs. Dance gets it over to the far side. Slipping to the floor was Laidlaw, trying to get it back. He's got Bergsma on him, and Reed Gage Board. That one bounces off of DeBrone back to Higgins. But I was saying, you know, Higgins and Wendy were both outstanding the first 2 weeks, and Higgins has kept it going. Wendy's struggling a little bit tonight, and that's part of why it's 8-2 here. Oshawa also creating a lot of chances. The Outlaws were not good last week as they lost. And to the St. Catharines Shockwave, and they definitely have stepped up their game. There's a shot by Critch, doesn't get through. Here goes Spanger. Dustin Caravello going after him. He sees he's there now. Shoots, saved by Wendy, spins to make sure it didn't go in. Ball's going to be scooped up by Tchaikovsky. Battles through the double team, spins back into it, and the ball's knocked loose. Lyons grabs it, lobs it ahead, and Gillen's going to drive in on Tompkins, and now he steps back. And Spanger looking for his first Arena Lacrosse League goal. And, you know, I didn't think originally, there's a shot, but I think Wendy actually got the ball when he spun around, but he did. That ball was bouncing towards the net, and he whacked it away with his hand. That's a fantastic save. Tompkinson's pass back may have been tipped. McMichael thought about the dunk play. Wendy slid across on his pad, so McMichael just hangs on to it. Boy, that's a great save by Craig Wendy to get the first piece and know where the ball was, spin around, and whack it away with his hand. But then John St. John goes top cheese again, and it's 9-2. John St. John, his second goal of the game, to go with a couple of assists. He is having himself quite a day. He sets a pick. Thinking about setting another one as Mancini throws a pass across, doesn't get through. Caravello takes a look at McGordy. Not really a lane there for him to pass to, so he'll slow it down. Teeter has to go up to get that one. Sorry, that's Connor Brown with the spiral tape job, a la Michael Teeter. Spins off a check, goes to middle, shoots, saved by Higgins. Picked up by Tompkinson. Dances back. Tompkinson hits St. John off the bench. Miles with the check. St. John is stopped but gets his own rebound. Spins back into the corner. He's driving to the net. Fights through some traffic and throws it up to Triolo. Triolo hits Garland. Almost got that one, but Wendy gets just enough of it. Triolo tried to grab the rebound, but it rolls out to Wendy, and Critch moves it ahead to Jordan Dance. Takes the give and go. Saved by Higgins. It may be 9-2, but just chatting with Arena Lacrosse League founder Paul St. John, who also played this morning in the co-ed fun tournament. There will be more. They're going to be doing it again. So keep your eye on the Arena Lacrosse League website, arenalacrosseleague.ca, and the Facebook page. Oh, the pass through to Dance doesn't quite connect. Higgins grabs it. There's the outlet. Tompkinson's going to catch it. He's got Gage Board with him. Passes over. Misses on the far side just wide. That one's going to bounce out into the crowd. And actually, one of the players, I believe that's a young player from, oh no, he's a bit young. He was one of the kids who was here watching. So we're a bunch of players from Northumberland Nemesis in Coburg who were playing this morning, along with John Webb, the general manager and one of the owners of the Coburg Kodiaks. He's actually sitting down right in front of us here, watching the game. It was a lot of fun. There's Tyler Roach with the ball, looking for the outlet. He's got Spanger, goes to Robertson. Pass across McMichael, just missing. The save by Wendy. And here comes Critch. He's got a man wide open. Lions off the bench. Saved by Higgins. Man, Higgins is on fire. Shot by Critch, another save. Looks like Dustin Caravello is a little banged up. He's going to get up and go slowly to the bench after taking a heavy check and falling awkwardly. But yeah, check the Facebook page and the Arena Lacrosse League website. Here's Connor Brown. Yeah, a big day coming for him tomorrow. He spins to the net, saved by Higgins. Boy. And Toronto taking some good shots here, and Higgins is just stopping everything. Ryan Nolan runs the ball up the floor. Long lob pass all the way across by Josh Miller. St. John gives it up top, and Garland will pass it off and head into the middle. St. John trying to figure out what to do with it. Passes it to Garland. It was a little low. Garland's knocked down from behind. Monarchs with the outlet pass. Nice catch by Gillen. Goes to the net. Saved by Higgins. That is clearly the most commonly used phrase in this game. Saved by Higgins. There's Gillen. Saved by Higgins. Triolo, long outlet pass to Spanger. Can he get his first Arena Lacrosse League goal? No. Craig Wendy stops him. Gage Board is there. Grasby pushes him away. Not sure how that is not possession for Oshawa. And Gage Board doesn't get it either as Grasby just shoves him out of the way and takes the ball. That gets through Higgins, but he spins around and keeps it from going into the net. Wait a second. Luke Laidlaw is set up on the righty's side, but he is a lefty, number 16. Now he switches and heads over. Sneaky little play. Takes the pass, but it's just too far behind him. And 3 seconds for Spanger. Now he gets his first Arena Lacrosse League goal. Just in time. Bounces the one hopper into the net. And that couldn't have gone much worse for the Toronto Monarchs, looking to eat into the lead. Instead, it's extended to 10-2. Go for quarter number 3. Michael Gillen, Graham Bergsma lining it up. It's 10-2 for the Oshawa Outlaws. Can the Toronto Monarchs pull off the biggest comeback in Arena Lacrosse League history? Okay, it's only 4 weeks, I know. But still, it would be a very big comeback. Spanger has the ball as Oshawa gets possession. Once again, coming out of halftime. Boy, everything going Oshawa's way. John St. John with 2 goals, 2 assists, leading the way for the Outlaws. Triolo with a big shot from outside. That one's stopped by Wendy. It goes right back to Triolo. He loses it with Crawford on him. But eventually rolls the ball out. It goes to the Outlaws. St. John kind of handcuffed Wendy, but he did make the stop. Big save there by Wendy. Robbing. I'm trying to figure out who that was that took that shot, and I got to tell you, I don't know. May have been, I don't know. We're going to just say that was just a shot and a great save by Greg Wendy. Ryan McMichael has to go down to try and corral that one. Eventually, gets banged into the boards. Ryan Nolan trying to get it. It's Caravello that comes out with it. 2-on-2, shoots wide. Almost bounced into the Outlaws bench. It's an over and back. Steve McCarthy, the Outlaws coach, kind of just put his palms up saying, that ball's 30 feet back over center, and you haven't called anything yet, but they did eventually call the over and back, and Ryan McMichael will toss it out to Dylan Goddard. I'm missing Ryan McMichael up here in the booth. He did the first ever Arenalacrosseleague game with me. There's a save by Wendy. Certainly enjoyed having him. McGordy runs the floor, thought about going to Jordan Critch, but pulls it down instead. Spanger on him. Spanger bangs him into the boards, and Matt Lyons. Nice defensive recovery by Robertson, then loses him. The pass doesn't get through to Lyons, though. Robertson whipping back into position. Spanger's on him. The pass doesn't get through to Gillen. Now he grabs it. He's playing a lot more at the front door tonight. Trying to fight to the net. Draws a penalty. The ball will bounce free. Shot clock expires, and the Monarchs will go to the power play. When you're spinning them in your grasp. See if the Monarchs can get things rolling here. Lyons is up top. Scott picking for him. Laidlaw tries to get it down to Dance, but the ball goes loose. Tyler Roach bangs it along the boards to Tompkinson. Nice play by Roach. Then Tompkinson's pass a little too far for board, but he runs onto it. Sneaks away from Lyons. Goes out, shoots, saved by Wendy. Some Monarchs fans still hanging in there to my right. Monarchs now going right to left on the screen in there. Maroon and gold, burgundy and gold, brown and gold. Not sure. Brown. We'll go brown. Brown and gold. Pass across to Scott. Cutter. No, he's going to go to Lyons instead. Lots of time on the shot clock. Still a minute to go on the power play. That shot doesn't get through. Shane Scott gets it, though. There's Lyons down. He goes to Laidlaw instead. That pass misses. It's snagged by Tompkinson. Nice play. Go up and get that one. Spins out of trouble. Lots of time to get across. Here goes Robertson. Thought about having to go at the net. He's going to pull it out. Wise decision. He'll run around behind the net as Tchaikovsky leaves it there for St. John. Pelkey. St. John slips by, and St. John is rammed into the net. Just came down on the crease line. Missed the net anyway, but it was a nice play. Looked really good, just not quite finishing. Trillo back playing defense. Moving pick called. And it'll be Outlaws possession. They still lead 10-2 as we're 5 minutes here into the third quarter. On JVI Sports Network coverage of the Arenalacrosseleague. I'm Steven Stamp with the call. Robertson up top, rips it, save Wendy. Reaches out, grabs the loose ball, throws it ahead just a little too far, but Francisco after it. Robertson bumps him and allows the ball to roll to Higgins, who scoops it up. Spanger comes to get it. Sees a cutting Tchaikovsky and immediately gets the pass off, but Pelkey is on Tchaikovsky and makes him slow down. Penalty coming. So Higgins goes to the bench. 12 on the shot clock as the sixth attacker comes out. It's Mike Triolo running into your screen right there. Sets a pick, takes a check. Pass doesn't get through from Goddard. Too many men on the floor. Still trying to find his way a little bit here in the Arenalacrosseleague. We mentioned the great pick he set earlier in the game to open up some space. There's Goddard across to Tchaikovsky, rips it right into the belly. Wendy comes up looking up the floor, and the man comes off the bench. He's going to take a shot at it. A little bit too far for Connor Brown. And it goes straight to Zach Higgins, who makes the short pass. Spanger just leaves it there for Goddard, and the power play sets up again for the Outlaws. He's just going to step in, shoot, and score. Dylan Goddard, he's already got 4 assists today. Now he has a goal to go with it. and it is 11-2. Matt Spanger will get an assist on that one. Matt Francisco taking this face-off against Graham Bergsma. Bergsma pulls it back between his legs, but it's all Monarchs around the ball, and Critch comes up with it. 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Connor Brown making his Arena Lacrosse League debut. Gets the pass back. Little toe drag. Bergsma on him. Shot. Higgins has no problem with that one and looks up the floor. Tompkinson covered nicely by Laidlaw, and there's going to be a penalty coming. Ryan McMichael is trying to explain. You can see he's pointing out, this is where we were. This is where the change box is. This is where this guy came. This is Cam Mancini, the in-home for the Outlaws, goes in, and the Monarchs go back to the power play. They trail 11-2, nearing the midway mark of the third quarter. Shane Scott tries to make a pass. It does get through to Laidlaw, who scores. The pass kind of hung out there. Laidlaw ran onto it. Makes a nice little play, goes sidearm, and goes. If that's how he meant it to work, that was a great pass. Hard fake, near side, reaches out and gets it just through Zach Higgins. So the Monarchs know they can score on Zach Higgins. Hasn't happened for a long time, but now they get one. Their last goal was 4:30 into the first quarter. They're going to battle for this ball along the boards and come out with it. Jordan Critch with it. Nice little maneuver to get by Spanger and Triolo. Pulls it back. Boy, Jordan Critch is definitely one of the best players in this league. Playing out the back door, but he can do pretty much anything you need out on the lacrosse floor. Shane Scott. Big pick by Grasby on Tompkinson. Tries to roll in. Well, he does roll in, but the pass doesn't get through from Laidlaw. Here goes Tompkinson. Oh, what a strip by Laidlaw. A little flick to knock the ball out of the stick. It goes up in the air, and he grabs it. Tompkinson trying to return the favor, but Laidlaw hands it off and goes for a rest. Matt Lyons comes out. Shane Scott hits the cutter. That's thrown back by Brown, but picked off by Ryan Nolan. Nolan was going to the bench, was going to give it off, thought about going to the net and trying to make a pass, and then lost the ball, but does recover it. McMichael's shot saved by Wendy. Gets it back. Gives it up to St. John. Only 4 Outlaws out there, so Tchaikovsky comes onto the floor and is dragged down. It's going to be a holding call against the Monarchs. McMichael has the ball behind the net and is getting just pounded by Spencer James and Reed Board, and eventually the Monarchs come up with the ball. They fling the ball the length of the floor, and Mike Trillo starting with the ball up at the top. 11-3 Outlaws as they start on the power play. McMichael has it. Mancini with the shot, but they're going to say moving pick. The outlet pass. Oh, just out of the stick of Critch. Can he get it? No, it bounces away. Grabbed by Mancini. Switches hands to throw that one up. Tyler Roach pushing the pace. He's going to give it up. He actually played on the power play for Ireland at the 2015 World Championships, and he was pretty good. He has some skills out there, but he is definitely pigeonholed as a defender here in North America. Tchaikovsky back up to Goddard. Skip pass. Garland's going to let it rip. Oh, he scores! Cam Garland. Through the screen. No, they're saying no goal. Mentioned earlier that John Ray making his National Lacrosse League debut after playing for the Toronto Monarchs last week. There's a shot that goes wide. He's with the Rochester Nighthawks tonight. Nice catch by Robertson. He gets the ball back. Roach runs a little interference, drops it, and gets it back. Robertson took 3 tries together, so there's no fast break, but he did make some moves. But Johnny Ray is up with the Rochester Nighthawks. He's on the scoreboard. He has 2 penalties. There's a pass across the middle to Roach. Doesn't quite connect. He's going to go after Adam McGordy. McGordy running it up over center. Makes it well ahead of the 8-second count. There's Mike Teeter wide open on the far side. Catch and shoot, but Higgins ready for that one, going post to post across the crease. Nice pass from DeBrone. Goddard. Oh, Wendy Main. No, he didn't get a part of that. Goddard just missing. It was a pretty nice play by DeBrone and Goddard, but just not connecting. Bergsman jumps out to force Caravello to give it up. Now Graham Bergsman will be the first one there to the boards. Can't corral it though. Spanger gets it. Mancini's the first guy off the bench, but it's not there. 4 brown and yellow jerseys are back there. So Oshawa will set up on the offense. The Monarchs will go to the defensive set. Garland, he wants that goal that it was denied him last time. Misses. McMichael will get it. 7 on the shot clock. Behind the back pass by McMichael. He's banged into the Toronto bench by Matt Francisco. Things clear out and they go their own way, and Toronto will move the ball up the floor. The Seth Laidlaw comes to take the pass. Minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. 11-3 Oshawa over Toronto in Arena Lacrosse League action. Almost a goal, and that ball ricocheted off Higgins. Back off Jordan Nance, back to Zach Higgins. Stays out as just about everything that Toronto's firing at Zach Higgins does. There's a little tug on the shoulder, but Nick Graspy gets away with it. Gage board, thought about going to the net. He's got Dylan Goddard down low. Goddard wanted to pass it before he had it. Gets it back, shoots. Trickles through Wendy, but right along the goal line. And it's picked up on the other side. Bit of a break for the Monarchs as we enter the final minute of play, and Matt Pelkey hands it off. Teeter on his offside is going to run over there to his correct side now. Brown. Sorry, that's Critch. They're all going for that spiral barber pole tape job. Knocked down by Tompkinson. He grabs it. Gets away from him, but he does corral it. 3-on-2, including the trailer. Pass across. And stepping in the crease was Zach Sloan. Sloan has scored a beauty of a goal a couple weeks ago here, but hesitated a bit too long on that one and then stepped into the crease. DeBrone right out on Luke Laidlaw, who's going to head to the bench a little gingerly. Collision along the boards. 15 seconds left in the quarter. Pushing the pace. Spanger now gives to the offense. 6 seconds. McMichael. It's grabbed by Mancini. They're all over him. He gets a shot off under duress from Crawford and Miles. Shot goes wide. The quarter expires. It's 11-3 for the Oshawa Outlaws over the Toronto Monarchs. Welcome back, lacrosse friends. Fourth quarter action underway from the Tribute Community Center. Michael Gillen wins the faceoff. Loses the ball, though, and Higgins will not be able to get it off the backboards. Still bouncing around, and it's going to roll out to Shane Scott. They'll set up. Jordan Critch up for an offensive shift. Run, sets one pick, sets another. Shot from the far side, misses by Caravello. They've got 8 left as Teeter tracks that one down. 11-3 still, and it is ahead for Spanger, who just runs onto it. Man came out early for Toronto. Spanger misses, but Crawford. So the Outlaws on the power play. They lead 11-3 as we are a minute into the final quarter. Interesting to see how low they can keep this score. Shot by St. John, bounces off of Miles. Wendy looking up the floor. Caravello behind everyone, but Goddard gets back. Boy, Dylan Goddard has some wheels. You don't always see it because he's playing up in the offensive zone, but he can go. Now he's on defense, and if there's a chance for him to transition out, watch out because he will blaze up and is so dangerous on the run. Critch tries to flip it through, gets it through. Nice save. And Goddard is running up the floor. DeBrone stumbles and loses the ball, but there's Spanger to grab it. Sorry, that's Nolan. Oh, goal by Nolan. Looks off Dylan Goddard and bounces it 5-hole on Craig Wendy. Ryan Nolan, a real up-and-coming young player. And it's 12-3. I was going to say the lowest score ever recorded so far in the 3+ weeks of Arena Lacrosse League history. 7 goals. The Six Nations Snipers beat the Paris River Wolves 18-7. Back on January 14th, the same day, the Oshawa Outlaws beat the Peterborough Timbermen 14-7. Oshawa's got the ball again. Toronto's never going to score if Oshawa keeps having control of it. They're running it back up the floor. Nice hustle by Miles. Robertson stays on him. And Miles will just shovel it over to Laidlaw. Immediately gives it to Brown, who immediately gives it to Michael Gillen. Gillen puts his shoulder down, falls backwards, ball pops loose. Roach is up the floor. He's going to run onto it, just gets away from him. He's got Shane Scott after him. They were teammates with the Barrie Blizzard. Nice body position by Roach. Behind the net, the pass is a little low for Tompkinson. And he smiles at Shane Scott. Tyler Roach did everything right except making a good pass. That one was low. We're going to have a moving pick on the Monarchs as Zach Tompkinson was flattened, and he's a little slow getting up. And then he gets a cross-check from Matt Francisco. He's making his way a bit gingerly over to the bench. Doesn't appear to be too bad, just a little shaken up, heading off. That shot from Miller doesn't get anywhere near. Stopped by a Monarchs player, and here we go. Brown the other way, save. Higgins comes back out behind the back by Francisco, misses. Nolan Ryan grabs it, and he's running the floor. Big collision. The ball rolls straight over to Mark DeBrone. DeBrone's going to go for a run. He'll stay out and play offense. Tchaikovsky down to DeBrone. Triolo's there as the third righty. Sharp pass across. Goddard gets under his man. McGordy trying to recover. Save. Wendy stepped in the crease anyway, but that was a spectacular save. Craig Wendy, it hasn't been his best day, but boy, he has made some great saves. That was one of the best. The one where he stopped Spanger on the breakaway, then spun around and swatted the ball away with his hand. Just sensational. Board's going to run out of time with the ball as he is flattened by a couple of Outlaws. And there's a breakout pass just too far for Gage Board. So it was Reed Board for the Monarchs and Gage Board for the Oshawa Outlaws. Lots of relatives in this league. We have the Laidlaw cousins on the Toronto squad. Lions pass across. They try and quick stick it, but Michael Teeter just misses, lands in the crease. Ball is loose. It's picked up by Dance, whose shot misses. 3 seconds to shoot. And a penalty coming to Toronto. Earlier today, Paris River Wolves beating the Peterborough Timbermen 13-10. It was a pretty exciting game. River Wolves with the last few goals to pull away a bit, including an empty netter. Triolo down to Mancini, who was separated from his helmet by a big check from Spencer James. He'll just grab the bucket and head to the bench. Caravello, a lot of fakes, he scores. Running hard, takes a nice little bounce pass from Patrick Miles. Couple of fakes and goes up over Higgins. Finds the back of the net. Bergsman and Gillen engage again. Gillen had it. Bergsman tried to rake it out. Gillen pulled it out, and it's McGordy coming up with it. Gets over center. There's a pass to the middle. Shot by Gillen. Stopped by Higgins. He's right back on the horse. Spanger running the ball up the floor. Goddard will wait. Hits the trailer. Tompkinson over to Spanger. He goes high. Tries to get it over Wendy, but doesn't succeed. And now, another penalty to Toronto. Triolo's up top. Cam Mancini was out there, but is now going to the bench. And it's going to be Zach Tompkinson will be the safety valve up top. Triolo's shot goes wide. That one bounces into the Outlaws bench, and it'll be Toronto possession. Just under 10 minutes to go here. 52 on the 5-on-3 advantage. Shane Scott pulls it out. There's a goal by the 3-on-5 Monarchs. And then a nice little move by Shane Scott. He thought about shooting earlier, didn't. This time he pulls out from down low, steps up high, uses Laidlaw as a decoy and bounces one in. Tompkinson hands it off to Triolo. They're, of course, still 5-on-3. St. John behind the back. Goddard shoots, scores. Dylan Goddard. Nice finish on the pass from St. John. They'll still be on the power play. There are 23 seconds left on the first penalty as Goddard, little fake low and then goes high. Patrick Miles sprints up to the other restraining line so the Monarchs have somebody there and then runs into the middle. Almost had the ball, but I think Gillen actually knocked it away from his teammate, but Miles comes up with it. He's got Caravello down the floor, thought about it. Tompkinson took away the early pass. The pass does get through there. Tompkinson almost tipped it away. Little spin by Lyons. Bergsma on him, gets a pick from Scott. Goes by Ryan Nolan, but the ball is knocked out of his stick as Tompkinson comes for the double team help. Goddard with his second goal to go with 4 assists. St. John has 2 goals and either 3 or 4 assists. They're running just a little bit behind because the internet a little slow down in the timekeeper's box. The odd crash on the system. That shot's up in the air. The rebound, they get it ahead to Critch. Gillen set him up. Nice little change of pace there by Critch, but Higgins ready for the shot and stops it. Robertson is going to run it up over mid-floor. Oh, the pass across, but Goddard just a little too quick trying to get ready to shoot. Gets away from the defender. Triolo goes to the net. Save Wendy. Spencer James running the floor. Francisco not sure where to go as he was catching up to James, so he just diverted to the bench and they get it to Shane Scott. He backpedals. Lob across. Jordan Dance has it. Dance loses the ball. Pass ahead. Just too far for DeBrone. He's going to track it down. Trying to control it. Can't. Pelkey is there. DeBrone kind of lands on top of it. Pelkey lands on top of him. McMichael's there. You hear Craig Wendy yelling handball. The Monarchs get it anyway. And Miles runs the ball up the floor. Shot there by Luke Laidlaw. Covered up in the crease after the save by Goddard, who was all the way back in his own end. All the way back, right in the crease. He'll go to the bench, and the Outlaws go to the attack. Garland's shot down low, stopped by Wendy. And we're going to have a call there, and it will be the officials' timeout. 6:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. The score 13-5 for the Oshawa Outlaws. The Monarchs do have the ball. Luke Laidlaw gives it off to Teeter. Grasby, a little fake, coming in across the top. It's the rolling Laidlaw. Lions pass to Teeter. He's going to let it fly. Higgins has that one. It's underneath and a penalty coming. Looks like we're going to have them both ways. Tyler Roach is heading to the box. He's quite familiar with the penalty box. No stranger to mixing things up. And it looks like Seth Laidlaw of the Monarchs will be joining him. Stoppage in play. Triolo takes it from Tchaikovsky. McMichael's up top. The low pass caught by Goddard. Skipper goes wide. Triolo catches it. Goes to St. John. Little fake. Caravello stays on him. Pass across. Triolo shot well high. St. John tries to go down below, gets it to Tchaikovsky. Shot off the inside of the post, comes back almost straight to him, but McMichael eventually corrals it. So those penalties both slashing for Laidlaw and Roach. St. John takes the pass, 16 on the shot clock. McMichael right on top of the crease is run over by Spencer James. He's going to get up into... by Mike Gillen. He's going to get up into Gillen's face. They're having a bit of a yap, so it's right out the other end. Now there's a penalty coming to Daryl Robertson as he came back and was checking on the back check. Partly because Craig Wendy wasn't the spectacular goalie he's been so far earlier in the season. Oh, Dance right on top of the crease, and Spanger without a stick, but Dance can't get the shot off. Shane Scott grabs it off the back boards. Only 3 on the shot clock, so Caravello rips it. That one doesn't get through. Shot clock expires. Spanger grabs his stick. And the ball is down the floor. Graham Bergsma wanted one. Yeah, he's going to get it down in the Oshawa end. Little bit of pressure from Adam McGordy. 4:44 to go. It's 13-5. Oshawa is short-handed because they did take the one penalty on its own. So minute 10 left in the Oshawa power play. Sorry, in the Oshawa short-handed situation. Triolo with the hard forecheck gets the ball back for the Outlaws. Swim move. The swim move works well when you're 6'8", 6'9". Triolo 6'8", I'm 6'9". I was using it this morning. Of course, you can't body check in the fun game I was in, so it's even more effective. But Triolo using it to good effect there. Finally, the Monarchs get the ball back. They'll go up on the power play as Miles gets it over center. 4 minutes exactly to play here. In the third quarter in Toronto, the ACC score still 7-4. There's a goal from the outside. Sorry, I was trying to sneak in a out-of-town scoreboard. It's going to be Matt Lyons from the top. Gets the pass back and absolutely lets it fly sidearm. Sneaks it inside the post past 13-6. Monarchs 1 goal away from at least tying the all-time low here in the Arenalacrosseleague. What a shot by Lyons. Bergsma rips that one straight back to Tompkinson. Robertson has to go up the ladder for him to get that pass. All right. Power play goal announced. I could have sworn Spencer Tangway, who does a very nice job on the PA, could have sworn he said Zach Sloan, who of course plays for the Oshawa Outlaws, but no, it was Matt Lyons. Has been a long day with 4 games personally this morning, and then calling a couple here. This is a stop out front, didn't get all the way through to Higgins. Ryan Nolan running the ball up the floor. He's got Sloan with him. Now Tchaikovsky comes over. Some pressure, and eventually does get to Tchaikovsky. It was Pelkey putting the pressure on. St. John goes down low. Goddard. Oh, nice feed in the goal by Zach Sloan. Now Sloan's name will be announced over the speaker system. Beautiful play. St. John to Goddard to Sloan to the back of the net. The 3 lefties getting together for that one. Gillen shoots, saved by Higgins. Monarchs moving the ball around the outside. Caravello to Critch. Nick Grasby just shovels Matt Spanger's stick away after they got tangled up. Higgins with the outlet pass to mid-floor. Tompkinson bounces it to Triolo. He and John St. John going in. Triolo shoots, save. St. John on the forecheck gets the ball loose, and Goddard will pick it up. Reed board on him, but they're going to slow it down. 1:37 to go. There's a shot from the outside by St. John. Outlet pass. Too many men call coming against the Outlaws. Big hit by Roach, knocks the ball loose. Miller was trying to get it back, but the Monarchs hang on to it. They've got 12 on the shot clock as they get the extra attacker out, trying to get that 7th goal. They're down 14-6, 1:05 to go. Step around the shot, skips out of the stick of Luke Laidlaw. And with 58.8 to go, too many men on the floor. That is a penalty shot. Any too many men call in the final 2 minutes of play is a penalty shot. Jason Wiswell's already indicated it. He'll start right in the middle of the floor. See if he runs over onto his side. He picked it up. He has to put it down. Now he gets to pick it up. Not really sure what the difference is, but that is the rule. Caravello comes in, cradling. Starts on his side. Pulls it back. Nice save by Zach Higgins. Couple of moves by Caravello, but Higgins stops it. Face off at center. It's 14-6, 58.8 to go. And oh, that's just a great hand save by Higgins, leaving the arm out there just enough to get the tips of the gloves of his fingers on it and turn that one aside. Monarchs setting up. They're still on the power play. Lions sidesteps. He's going to shoot. Nope, passes it in front to Critch. It gets away from him. Dance picks it up. Fresh 30 because it touched Higgins. Laidlaw with final 30 of the game. Just about a second or so difference. Obviously, the Monarchs aren't waiting for the last shot. They'll just shoot when they have an opportunity. Lions gets it across, and a goal by Seth Laidlaw. 14-7. We will not have a new all-time low for scoring. That one skips just inside the far post. Protracted battle for the draw. 14 seconds to go. Spanger has it. Looks off, makes the pass now. Doesn't quite connect with McMichael. 6 seconds to go. McMichael just hanging on to it, rolls it into the corner. And that'll do it. The final score will be the Oshawa Outlaws 14, the Toronto Monarchs 7. Mike Gillen and Graham Bergsma meet at about mid-floor for a nice little glove tap and a pat on the head. The two draw men who battled all day long. And Zach Higgins gets plenty of congratulations from his Oshawa Outlaws teammates.